We're ready to start addressing the colors in the file, and we're going to use a tool. And if you just search for Adobe Color, we should get to color.adobe.com. And this is a useful tool. It's not the only way to do things, it's just a quick way. So let's close this. So the default view that we get, it shows us a color wheel and a color scheme and a palette and sliders. So this is a color harmony called analogous, where they're all kind of in a row, which is really an easy one. We could choose different ones here. You can see monochromatic, so just one single direction degree on the color wheel. Try it, splitting it between 3 complements. And you should note that these are not true complements. This is not a true color wheel. This is using a red, yellow, blue primary system. So it's not mathematically correct. These are just traditionally harmonious color schemes, split complementary. Anyway, so you could do it this way, or you can extract a theme or explore. Let's go to explore first. So explore would be color palettes that other people have saved and their names for it. I don't know if it's going to give me the names unless I do it, and I don't know why it thinks I like yellow so much. So you'll notice that a lot of these, they'll have a photo attached to them, and that's because it uses the photo as a departure point for extracting the color palette, which is useful. So if your content of your site is going to be like that, you can look for that. And if I were to type in a word and search, it will kind of do the same thing for me. So it's finding pictures of nuts and then automatically extracting color palettes for what is seen in the nuts. So, depending on the photo, you're going to get some different colors. You can see that there's a lot of similarity, but a lot of these are not similar. So I'm curious about one of these that's not based on a photo. Oh, so someone named it with a nut tag. Pistachio, do they actually have the tag for nut? No? Oh, maybe. We're kind of cut off. So we could download it or whatever, or as a JPEG, or as code. That seems pretty useful. I'm not going to do that here because I want to show you one more way to do it. So if we go back to create and extract theme, this lets us take a photo that maybe we're already using, and it will do the same kind of thing. So if I select a file, I have my images folder. Oh, did I not put any images in my images folder? Let's go to the old image. So I could choose an image, and it just automatically picks points on the photo that it can use for a color palette. It tries to get a variety of lights and darks, so it does a good job. You can always move them to another place and see how that affects the color palette. So with such a limited color variety on this image, it pretty much picked the best places already. And you can also select whether you want it to do a bright version, colorful version. And one of the useful things about these is that maybe the base version, the colorful, is what you think, just what you think of when you see the colors. But a muted version will give you, this is not a good image to do this with. Let's go ahead back to Explore, or let's look for a new one. I thought I had replace image, new image. The nuts example. Here we go. Here's some images. Okay, so here's some nuts. Great. So here the colorful version, okay, but if we look at the muted version, we get some lighter tones there, or the deep, we get the darker ones, or obviously dark, we get the darker. So with the same photo, picking several versions of it can help you get a full palette. Okay, so let's pretend that this is what we want. Maybe not quite so dark on the brown. It's kind of hard if you're looking at the... I'm just randomly dragging this till I get a better brown, which I don't think is really the best way to do this. Let's target the almond. Okay, maybe that was better. So I'm going to save this, and it's going to want me to sign in. Oh, I don't want to do all this right now. Okay, so the advantage of saving is it goes to your library, which could be useful. Where were we? Create, extract. I'm not a great fan of the libraries, partially because they just take so long to load. Okay, so if you don't want to save it, we can still use it because it has the most important thing that we want here. So the hexadecimal codes is one of the more useful things. Okay. What did I originally want? Okay, I'm gonna pull from this color. So if you just click on the thing here, it copies it to the clipboard. We're gonna go to our fonts and colors in our style sheet. Right, we have that there. And I'm gonna name this. It's my bright red, and paste it in there. Okay, and I kind of like the other darker red that it does here. So I'm just pulling the colors that I like from the thing here, pasting them in with the label that I remember what it is. And you might run out of names. Okay, and let's get some lighter colors. This is good neutral. None. Why would you do none? What is that about? Okay, and I'm going to go back to muted and just try to pull some other light colors. It's a nice cashew nut there. And I'm going to take this yellowy thing and see if I can find a... Oh, come on. Okay, so I have a body of colors here that I can use. And I'm curious about the other method that they have with the CSS. So nuts, and this is a pretty obvious nut palette. copy as CSS. Oh, that's not bad. So it gave me the hex swatches, which is like what I did here, but just generically named it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. RGBA versions of them. The one meaning full opacity. We're not going to use HSLA, so I'll keep those in. That's pretty cool the way it did that. So one of the problems with the way that there's the comment in here everywhere, it's messing up my comments in this section. So I can get rid of the individual comments. So I can keep this whole section commented to the end there. Okay, so both of those ways are pretty good for extracting color. Color palette's a very personal thing, so however you end up doing it, make sure it's something you like, not just an automatic tool, but that is a useful tool there for selecting color palettes, so maybe that will be helpful to you.